Hey, so I think it only took about 9 minutes for somebody to figure out what kind of an engine this was. And I think it was this gauge cluster here that gave it all away. And so I got this thing on eBay, and I got a bunch of stuff extra with the engine. Fairly low mileage unit. And the guy told me it won't even run without the gauge cluster hooked up to the harness. So I took his word for it, and I says, well, and I want those too. And so I'll show you some other stuff that I got with it here. Even the clutch here, see, it's a hydraulic clutch. So he's got like the whole lever and everything right off the bike, with the reservoir and everything on it. And I've got the fuel pump with it. So that's like an in-tank fuel pump. This is a fuel injected engine. So, that pump is probably running, around 34 pounds pressure or whatever it has to make it all work. So on the whole wiring harness, the computer to make it all run, and this rectifier, I think that's kind of like a voltage regulator. So comes really, really complete, and I like that. So air box. So I've never seen the inside of an air box of a GSX 1300R before. Filter looks pretty good. Well, actually, it sucks the air from the inside and it comes out this side. You can see the inlet there comes up through the filter, and then so anyways, so I just been kind of eyeballing this thing already a little bit, looking for motor mounts and stuff. So I got two here on this side and two on the other side, and then two big ones in the back here. See this one and this big massive one on the bottom here. So just locating the stuff. Yeah, so there's the other two mounts right there. So the rad and stuff, I'm not going to have it located there when it's in the machine, of course. That's just kind of all in the way. I think I'm going to use the rad that's on the machine now. It's actually, if I measure it up, it's a little bit bigger than this big honkin' curved one. That oil cooler, I'll relocate that. I'll do something with that yet too. So yeah, so when it's in the machine, basically it's just kind of like this part here, the headers. Yeah, so the headers came with it too, and the mufflers. So where do they go? I've got them here somewhere. So I actually originally built this thing with a 250 Polaris engine. It was like one of these, an engine from a Trail Boss or a Trailblazer, whatever you call those. It's a two-wheel drive ATV. But anyways, I didn't like the engine, so I moved up to the 700, Sportsman engine. But I still had that little 250 transmission in here, and it's still in here. But when I did put the 700 in, I did some reinforcing on that case just to help hold it together. But so now, I actually haven't done anything on this thing for several weeks, because once I started thinking of putting that, a bigger engine in here, then I'm thinking, well, I'm probably going to have to cut this thing all up just to get that engine in there, or at least there was a good chance of it. So then I thought, well, I should really see what that, how that thing measures up. And sure enough, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, tape measure time. So if I'm at the front of the engine here, giving a little bit of room for the headers, and then I head back here, I'm needing like, 20 inches or so. Yeah, probably looks like about 20 inches. Now I'll show you what it looks like on the machine here. So there's the tape there. So if I come back 20 inches, see that? That's like deep into all the framework here that I've already all constructed. So, and height-wise too, it's the air box is going to be kind of pushing up against the rad there. So, yeah, now you know why I haven't been too eager to work on this thing the last couple of weeks, because, I got to back up now a whole pile of steps now that I have the engine to measure off of. So, yeah, I get the engine. It's kind of like, all pumped up. Let's get her going, but, now I got to back up like a whole pile of steps. and cut up stuff that I've already made. It's kind of like having your sails inflated and deflated at the same time, you know. But it can all be done. It just you know, needs a bit of I need a little bit of enthusiasm now to actually start hacking this thing up. Poor machine. Oh boy. Okay, so that's where we're at. So another thing I liked about this engine is it was fairly low mileage. It was, I think it had like 7,700 miles on it or whatever it was. So pretty low miles, and it looks like it's never been opened up. You know, it's really like factory clean. You know, nobody's been monkeying around on it, trying to make it, you know, better and all that. Some guys know how to work on them, but I'm scared of the guys that think they know how, but they don't really, and they dig in there and they're gonna improve it, you know. And then I don't want really an engine like that. So nice factory engine, unaltered. But you know, so I was telling you how complete this engine came. So all the stuff came with, and you know what? It didn't come with a shifter. Like, what's the deal? So whatever, I can get a shifter like eBay on whatever, like 30 bucks or something. So anyways, there you have it, guys.